It doing? Welcome to Pete's Premium Parlay here at SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the Premium Parlay show for NFL Week 17. And last week, I lost the NFL Parlay, but I hit the college Parlay. So now I'm up 539, and that's an ROI of plus 23.4%. So basically, this season for the haters, it's over. I think I'm not exactly sure how many of these are going to make me do, so it's possible I could still come out down, especially if they make me do parlays for, all the NFL playoffs, but not looking good. 539 is when I'm up, only risking 100 for each parlay, so probably it's looking like I'm up for the year. I'm very happy that I won one. Love to get an NFL winner, though. I haven't had one NFL winner all year. This is my parlay for NFL Week 17. It's been a tricky year in the NFL. A lot of the sharp action that Brent has told me about on the Into the Weekend with Bet DSI shows has not done well, and a lot of people have been noticing that. So I'm not sure who's up with the NFL this year, and a lot of the sharp moves have not necessarily been winners. But let's get down to it. This week, interesting week. Brent told me that there was a lot of sharp action, but not a lot of sharp action that was agreeing with each other. So there were a lot of individual sides, but not a lot of that took sharp action, but not a lot of sides that took the same action from like 2 or 3 different sharp outfits. This week, I'm going to have a 5-teamer. And one of them is going to be a side that Brent told me he took sharp action on, and that's going to be Atlanta. Now, I previewed that game with Troy West from allplayswin.com. He liked Carolina -6. Atlanta +6, when I researched that game, was the first side that I liked. It was actually 6.5 at that point. I did take it at 6.5 and bought it up to 7. And Brent did tell me that the sharps came on Atlanta at +7. And now it's at +6 at Bet DSI. So I am going to buy it up to 7, -135. That's not... probably an okay thing to do just for peace of mind. So that's the first leg in the parlay. It's going to be Atlanta +7, -135. Another side that Brent told me took sharp action, which agrees with Joe Duffy's analysis, was Pittsburgh. Brent told me that the sharps came in on Pittsburgh -7.5, and I previewed that game with Joe Duffy from offshoreinsiders.com. Well, of course, it's a great record in our videos in the NFL this year, and he liked Pitt -7, and I am kind of agreeing with that as well. Didn't quite like it enough to put it in the parlay, but I do kind of like Pitt -7, like the team total over 25.5. But so I almost included that. In the end, I'm not going to include it. All right, let's get down to the other 4 sides that I am going to include. The second one is just for my own capping. Indianapolis on the under 45. That actually was down a bit from 45.5, I think, earlier in the week. Now it's 45. Indianapolis, basically, they've adjusted their game plan to be very run-oriented and defense-oriented, and, of course, they're looking forward to the playoffs here, so that's probably not going to change at all. They're just going to look to win the game, but get out of it healthy. Jacksonville probably play conservatively to hang close. So Jacksonville, I previewed that game with who was it? I think it was Jeff Cadillac. Yeah, and Jeff Cadillac said he liked Jacksonville +11.5, and I kind of agree with that as well, but I like the under a lot more. So that's going to be the second pick in the parlay, Indianapolis under 45. And then I'm going to include Washington, which right now is +3, +100. I kind of liked it a lot more at +3.5. And I previewed that game with Scott Kellen, 6NSports.com, and Scott Kellen did tell me that he liked Washington +3.5. I agreed with him in the video on that one. Now it's down to 3 +100 at BetDSI. Consider taking the money line at +150, but decided to be a little bit conservative and just take +3 +100. That's the third leg. Then here we go. Controversial. My first official pick in these parlays. It's going to go directly against the sharp action that Brent told me about. And again, the sharp action has not been winning this year that he's told me about. He told me that sharp action came in on Tampa Bay, New Orleans over 47. But I'm going to take the under, and now it's 47.5. And, Tampa Bay probably play pretty conservatively in the Dome. And New Orleans, their games have not been going over that. Neither of these teams have had games that have been going over 47 recently. And New Orleans has to be looking ahead to the playoffs here. They're probably going to play conservatively. Defense is very good, as we know. So I'm going to take a shot with the under 47.5, despite the fact that Brent told me that the sharp action came in on the over at 47. And then the fifth pick in the parlay is going to agree with a pick that Scott Kellen recommended. I previewed Denver-Oakland with Kellen, and also I almost took Oakland +10.5, and Brent did tell me that the Sharps came in at Oakland +11.5, and I almost took that, but instead I'm going to agree with Scott Kellen. I'm going to go with the over. Scott recommended a play on the over at 53.5, and in that video we discussed the way the game might play out. Scott agreed with my take that that the over in the first half is at least as good of a play as the over in the full game. And right now, that's just 27 at BetDSI. So you can watch that video to hear more about our analysis. But I am agreeing with Scott Kellen, but instead of taking the over 53.5, just going to go with the first half over in Denver, Oakland at 27. And that's the current line at BetDSI. So those are 5 sides in the NFL Week 17 parlay. Atlanta +7, -135. Indianapolis under 45. Washington +3, +100. Saints under 47.5. And then Oakland, Denver, first half over 27. So those are 5 legs. I'm going to do a round robin of 3s, 4s, and 5s. Base is $6.25. So that's $100 to win, $875.73. And, if just 4 win, it'll win a bunch as well. That's my Pete's Premium Parlay for NFL Week 17.